Let's take a deep dive into the Asteraceae family. Asteraceae is a really difficult family to key because there's a whole bunch of new terminology that you need to know about in order to understand these flowers. These flowers have an inflorescence type that consists, rather than an individual flower, of a head of flowers. So what I'm holding here is the entire inflorescence for an Asteraceae. And this inflorescence is composed of a number of, in this case, ligulate or zygomorphic strap-like flowers on the outside. Each white, what looks like a petal, is actually a unified group of petals for individual flowers. So as we pull off each one of these, I'm holding in my between my thumb and forefinger 2 flowers. The small yellow points in the center here are actually disc flowers. So as we get into the actual flower here, we see that as we discuss it, there's a ray or ligulate flower, and then there's a disc flower at the center. If we dissect this flower by slicing down the middle, or this inflorescence by slicing down the middle, we can look into the inside of the flower and we see some other characters which are really important to recognize. You can see the individual flowers coming off of a receptacle. In this case, it's kind of a curved receptacle. It can be conical, it can be concave, or slightly convex. And so you see that convex line there. The texture of that receptacle is actually pretty important to be able to notice. So we'll clear off those flowers in a minute and look at it. The nature of these individual disc flowers is important. They can have a small pappus or a modified set of sepals around the base. And then the nature of the ray flowers, strap-like flowers here, is also important. The ray flowers are often going to be unisexual and female, whereas our disc flowers are frequently going to be our bisexual or perfect flowers. Let's go ahead and get keying. We're going to key out today oxeye daisy, formerly known as Chrysanthemum leucanthemum, now known as Leucanthemum vulgare. Beautiful common flower, a great first key. It illustrates some important points. The bolded words in this description are really important to know. The one factor that we haven't talked about that's going to be important in our key is that at the base of the inflorescence, your text here is talking about filaries or involucral bracts, and that's these individual things right here. These can be in a series, they can be in multiple rows, they can be spine-tipped, or they can be kind of translucent and scale-like. So know that you have to know something about those involucral bracts in order to get started. We'll come back to some of the terminology as we get going. So for now, let's just go ahead and start our key. Asteraceae is a very large group, and because of this, we have to decide right away which tribe our group is going to go into. The biggest tribe in the Asteraceae is, or one of the larger tribes, I'm sorry, not the biggest, but one of the larger tribes you'll encounter is the Chicoreae. And the Chicoreae is a group of flowers that can be bisexual ligulate flowers, and so they're all zygomorphic, strap-like flowers. Where they have something like this, flower something like this. And then they have their individual parts coming out. This is like on the in a dandelion. Dandelion is in the Chicorae, and it's all ligulate. So the first couplet here is flowers all ligulate. In this case, and female, so I might have misspoken about them being bisexual in this case. Flowers all ligulate and female, juice of stems milky. So on a dandelion, that's what you should get. In this case, if I snap our stem, I don't get any milky juice. We can compare that with a dandelion. So here's a dandelion stem, something very simple. Break that apart and you see the milky juice come right out there. So this is consistent with the Chicorae, and so you see that all of our flowers are ligulate here, and if we zoom in here, actually we can even see those stigmas. Not sure how clear that is for you on the video. Okay, there's one of our stigmas. And you see where it goes down into the tube there. Ooh, a little dizzying to see. So take the time to go investigate those guys just for comparison. Back to our individual flower. Our flowers are not all ligulate. We also have disc flowers here in the center, and you can see each of those individual disc flowers down there. Little radially symmetrical disc flowers in the center. Flowers not all ligulate. The heads with both ray and disc flowers, or only disc flowers. The ray flowers, when present, marginal, meaning out on the edge, except in unisexual heads, and they're either female or neutral, and the juice of stems is watery, and that's the case here. We have no milky juice. Heads radiate, group 2, couplet 2, heads radiate with both ray and disc flowers. The rays inconspicuous or showy. And then we have an easy pick here, rays white to pink, purple, red, or blue, not yellow or orange. So that's going to be consistent with most of your daisies or rigerons. Or rays yellow or orange, occasionally marked with purple or reddish brown at the base. Oh, that's a nice, we love it when we get to just choose based on color. It makes our work easy. This is group 2, page 521. And here we go. So now we get to jump into group 2, rays white to pink, purple, red, or blue. And so far our work has been pretty easy. Continuing with our key of oxeye daisy here, we're starting in group 2 in the Asteraceae. The first question here is receptacle palliate or bristly throughout, or only towards the middle in one species. Pappus of scales or awns, or very short chaffy bristles, or none.